Federal appeals court sided with the Trump administration, blocking limits on ICE tactics during confrontations with protesters in Minnesota. The Eighth Circuit Court issued a full stay, halting a lower court order that restricted arrests, detentions, and use of force by ICE agents. The earlier ruling required probable cause before agents could arrest or pepper spray demonstrators during immigration enforcement operations. Appeals judges said they reviewed the same protest videos considered by the district court and reached a different conclusion. The panel said footage showed a mix of peaceful protest activity alongside conduct that was aggressive or unlawful. Judges added that federal agents responded in varied ways depending on the situation shown in the videos. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of 6 protesters who alleged their civil rights were violated by federal authorities. Last week, the appeals court temporarily lifted the restrictions while it considered the government's request. The ruling makes that pause official, granting what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a full stay. The decision allows ICE agents broader authority while responding to anti-ICE demonstrations in Minnesota. Meanwhile, police arrested protesters outside a Maple Grove hotel after declaring the demonstration unlawful. Authorities said the gathering was no longer peaceful after tensions escalated outside the location. Protesters targeted the hotel, believing a senior Border Patrol commander was staying there. That commander, Gregory Bovino, has been a visible figure in recent immigration enforcement actions. President Trump announced Bovino and several agents would leave Minneapolis amid leadership reshuffling. Concerns intensified after a 37-year-old Minneapolis man was shot dead, the second such fatal shooting this month. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem defended the federal agent involved in the fatal shooting, saying the armed Minneapolis protester aggressively displayed a gun while trying to disrupt a targeted arrest of a criminal migrant.
DHS leading the investigation into this shooting? And if so, will there be a criminal investigation? And also, will we see body camera released from the officers involved?
We are conducting this investigation just like we do all other officer-involved shootings, and we'll continue to do that. So that is unfolding, and we'll give you more details as those are released.
Secretary, thank you so much for doing this, and would welcome also any other guidance from Chief Scott. Did the 37-year-old who had a license to carry, did he brandish a gun? And at what point did law enforcement retrieve the gun and also the magazines from him? Can you offer clarity on where
this individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons and are using them to assault law enforcement officers.
Because video appears to show he's disarmed before shots are fired. So I just want clarity on that. And beyond that, I just want to follow up and ask who within the federal government is leading the criminal investigation, understanding that CBP OPR has opened up an internal investigation. And beyond that, why did federal agents tell Minneapolis Police Department to leave the scene?
We're continuing to follow the exact same protocols that we always have. And so this investigation is ongoing. We're continuing to gather the facts as they unfold throughout that, and we'll do it just like we did under the entire Trump administration and previous administrations. Nothing has changed, and we'll continue to release details as we have them. But I want to not distract away from the facts of this situation. Our law enforcement officers were there doing a targeted operation against an individual who was in this country illegally and had a criminal conviction for domestic assault with intent to do bodily harm, and other convictions as well. This individual went and impeded their law enforcement operations, attacked those officers, had a weapon on him, and multiple dozens of rounds of ammunition, wishing to inflict harm on these officers, coming brandishing like that and impeding their work that they were doing. We'll continue to allow. That is a different incident that happened at the same situation after the tragedy unfolded. But yes, that's the kind of assaults and violence that our law enforcement officers are facing out in the streets, and that the local leaders are encouraging. Remember what Mayor Frey has said, that he wanted ICE out of the city. We have been working and had a presence in that city for years. We are there to enforce the law and to make sure that the public is safe. Just since we have been there, we have arrested thousands of individuals that have criminal convictions and are in this country illegally, and gotten them off the streets of Minneapolis. The two things that we've asked the mayor and the governor for is that they would partner with us, and before they let somebody dangerous out of their jails, that they would let us know so we can deport them out of our country. I do not know why they continue to choose the side of lawbreakers, criminals, murderers, and rapists over the citizens of Minneapolis. And this situation that we have today is a tragedy that we don't have to have. We have it because we have a mayor and a governor who encourage this violence and encourage this type of rioting. And remember, these are the individuals that were in charge when Minneapolis burned in 2020. They facilitated it, they encouraged it, and they saw the destruction, and we all watched the destruction of that city back then. It doesn't have to happen again. It appears that they're following the same playbook, and the reason that they're doing it is to distract from the corruption that they have facilitated in fraud and theft from the American taxpayers. Tens of billions of dollars they have been funneled into criminal pockets and stolen from vulnerable people that needed these programs to take care of their children, to go out and provide services to individuals that were developmentally disabled, people that needed programs that the federal government has to take care of those that are less fortunate and need it. And instead, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey allowed that kind of theft to continue, and now they want to perpetuate violence against our law enforcement officers to cover it up.